it's like, oh, plus size woman, I'm big and I'm proud. I'm like, I feel like we're going too far to the
You feel like
opposite
because
end.
we
like
wouldn't do that for the anorexics, so why would we do it for the big ones? Is that what you're saying? We live?
We live.
We live. Welcome back to the Opinion Factory podcast, the podcast for free thinkers and challenge seekers.
Yes, sir.
I'm Khelil.
I'm Alex, and here we brought back one of our old friends from high school. Helen, say what's up to the people.
Hi, everyone. I'm glad to be back.
So we brought Helen because, you know, I've been having a hard time, right? I've been scrolling through Instagram, as one is wont to do. And it's come to the point where I'm having a hard time telling the difference between a lot of the people that I see on my feed.
What do you mean?
Like, everybody's getting their body done right now. And not only are they getting their body done, but they're getting it done in a specific way to the point where they almost look the same to me. And it's like, what's going on? Why is everybody getting their body done? Do we not love ourselves no more? And these are beautiful women, by the way, like by themselves without any modifications or augments. Beautiful women. But for some reason, one reason or another, I gotta get my ass done. I gotta get my titties. I need to get my lips done.
It's the hot thing right now. Everybody wants a fat ass.
That's so much money.
Everybody in their mom wants a fat ass.
But why? Why is it that you have to pay thousands of dollars for a fat ass just to get some likes on IG? Is that money? Is that self-esteem? Why are we doing this?
It's not money, it's capital. It's capital, man. It's social capital.
Yeah.
You got a fat ass, everyone wants you now.
Exactly.
All the guys want you. The girls look up to you because you got a fat ass. The girls want to be like you'll be surprised how many women actually follow these Instagram models. You'll actually be surprised.
I feel like it's more.
A lot of it's more men for sure.
More men?
No, I disagree.
I feel like it's more women that follow.
I think it's more women, to be very honest. I think it's more women.
More young, like teenagers too, like more younger women. Like I feel like women in their 30s, 40s, they're. I want to say they know.
It's a lot of men that follow Instagram models. All I'm gonna tell you.
I believe you.
I agree. No,
but I feel like
all I'm saying is you'll be surprised at the amount of women that follow these same Instagram models. That's all I'm gonna say because they want to look like those
them, yeah,
and they want to. But they're beautiful, but like it's not to get attention because I'm sure these women, beautiful as they are, like I just said, they get plenty of attention by themselves. Like walk down the street, they still get looks.
It's not the kind of attention they want though.
Oh, right. Especially nowadays, you want to look a certain way because you see Becky with the fat ass gets that attention, so now you want to.
Becky's getting attention on IG, and she's getting it from creepy men leaving comments and stuff.
Attention's attention, regardless of who it's coming from.
I wouldn't say attention's attention.
Yeah, it is.
I wouldn't say attention's attention though.
But it is. Attention is attention.
You want,
especially for the IG models. I don't care who's liking their pictures.
Oh, when it comes to that, then that's okay. If we're talking about that, then sure.
But then there's also this thing where if you're the girl, right, and now say you're getting decent attention in real life, then you go to Instagram and now you're getting like thousands and thousands of your capital just went up. Now it's like, oh, I'm somebody now. Right. I'm not gonna fuck with this dude I know from my neighborhood or my high school.
Because I get likes.
Because now I got all these other dudes. So you gotta like. If you're a girl, I can just imagine you. It's like, okay, not only up my standards, but I'm also gonna freaking like use it as a way to get more.
Absolutely.
You know, like you just heard Sweetie's like, oh, if he can't get you a Birkin bag, then he's not the one, right? Like if he can't buy you a Birkin bag, he said say like,
you're not
the
one,
but that's the whole point. So if you got that social media,
so if you look good, you can get a Birkin bag.
No, just think about it. Like the way you.
There's a lot of simps out there.
Will change the kind of men, in theory, you attract, right? So, I said in theory. So, girls nowadays want to look like bad bitches because they want to get niggas to spend on them. If you look regular, you know, your ass ain't fat, you don't got big titties, it's gonna be really hard to get attention of this up and coming.
And that's kind of how
who wants to fly you out,
right?
But if you
rapper,
look
basketball players,
online, you're gonna get that DM, you're gonna get that attention versus like you're nice looking.
Right, and that's kind of where Cardi B was coming from. I think she said this when she was a stripper. She saw that the strippers with the huge fake fat asses were getting so much more money than she was, and so she got her body done too. Right. Even though I'm sure she looked fine without her body done. And so it's not even like they're doing it for body positivity then. They're just doing it for the money.
And
is that what it is?
It's also an insecurity though. Like also like if you're not liking the way you look because this person looks this way, you want to capitalize on how they look for yourself. Like because you're not happy with how you look. And I feel like society plays a huge
right,
role in
and
that.
Instagram does.
Instagram does, yes.
Absolutely.
Because think about how it used to be before Instagram kind of came out, right? Like when we were in high school, just like when Instagram just came out, but not like where Instagram is right now. What was the thing you'd always see? Twitter was still around. The thing you'd always see is like whenever the Victoria's Secret show was on, always trending. And there was always be jokes about like dudes getting lotion out.
Right.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that.
All the time. And that was like the standard for that time.
Yeah,
it's like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And so now as like
now social media is taking over versus like, Victoria's Secret was
and so
on,
back
like,
then
CBS and like whatever, the mainstream media, right? Had the Victoria's Secret like size 2, size 0, size 4 models.
No ass, big titties, skinny.
Yeah.
And so back then, do you feel like more women
Want to look
like Victoria's
Yeah,
Secret?
exactly.
Absolutely. Like, I can speak for myself. Like, I look back at my pictures now and I thought I was fat then because I really wanted to be skinny. Like, I wanted to look like a stick because that was what was popping then. Like, I was like, damn, my tummy's too big or my boobs are too big. Like, I used to hate, like, having, like, hips or, like, even the slightest meat on my body. But now the roles are switched. I'm like,
but I felt like
I need a fat ass.
I feel like that was more cultural though. I didn't feel like black women like that's fine that you do, but
True.
like I'm thinking of like that line from Kanye was The Good Life. Welcome to the good life, where we like the girls who ain't on TV because they got more ass than the models.
True.
Right?
Definitely a cultural thing, but I'm just talking about like everybody or like the mainstream. I'm gonna say mainstream. Mainstream's fair. I'll use mainstream to be fair. Mainstream thing was this type of body.
Right.
Yes.
And to be honest, like having a fat ass back then was not as craved for as it is now.
It wasn't popping until Kim K came out with it.
It wasn't popping exactly, but back then it was like being skinny was what was in, and now it's like being thick and having a fat ass. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm sitting here thinking, damn, I want to get a fat. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Like, I done done my research too.
Is that body dysmorphia?
No, that's not body dysmorphia. No.
What is body dysmorphia? Like, isn't that like I don't know the definition, but I always assume that when you felt like your body, what you have, was somehow wrong when in actuality it's fine.
If you're doing it like consistently and chronically looking at yourself in the mirror and like looking at, oh, this doesn't look right or that, that's like, different.
Isn't like
from
anorexia like a form of body dysmorphia?
No, anorexia is its own separate thing.
But isn't that like
that's more physical though? I feel like dysmorphia is more mental.
But body dysmorphia is more of a mental thing. Anorexia is its own complete diagnosis in the DSM-5. Completely different thing, just like bulimia. But like you know, looking at someone's body and saying, damn, I want a fat ass is completely different from every day in the mirror looking at yourself saying, I don't like how this looks, I don't like how this looks, and then that starts impacting you significantly.
But doesn't that come from you looking at the people all day and looking at
not necessarily.
I feel like it does.
I feel like it does. Like, I feel like if you're seeing
absolutely that can impact it, but also that's another thing. Some people have body dysmorphia where that is not the impact. It's just regardless of what they're seeing, they always feel like there's something wrong with their body. Not comparing it to somebody
like
else.
Appearance-wise?
It's like an appearance-wise for them, like they feel like they don't look right. Not like, oh, this person, they want to look like
But I feel like there has to be an element of comparison
like,
there for you to feel like this doesn't look right. Because what is right to you? You have to get the idea of right from somewhere, right?
That's true. But also, it's a psychological thing, right? You might be thinking there's something wrong, but in actuality, there isn't. So you spend so much time every day, like, I don't like how I look because I have this, too much meat, too much that. But yeah, of course, it stems from a comparison. But I'm saying that's different from me seeing like Nicki Minaj's ass and saying, damn, I wish I had a fat ass. Like, I don't have body dysmorphia because I want a fat ass. But if I'm in the mirror every day looking at my ass and saying, oh, damn, like, I don't look good. I don't like the way I look. This doesn't look right. Blah, blah, blah. Then that...
And it's only body dysmorphia if there's really nothing wrong with it, right? Like, what if there was something wrong? Is that then body dysmorphia?
What do you mean wrong?
I was hesitant. I was hesitant to say that. All right, so what if like, you know, in high school I was, you know, very fit, very in shape, muscles on muscles, and then as I get older, I start letting myself go, and every morning I wake up and I see my gut. I'm like, damn, I don't like this gut.
That's not body dysmorphia.
Yeah,
is it because
that's you just falling off?
That's just
Right, but every morning I'm doing what you described. Every morning I'm getting up and I'm looking at myself. I'm not saying I'm not looking at social media.
Okay, so
I'm not looking at popular media at all. But I have this idea in my head consistently that there's something wrong with my body. When in reality, there's nothing wrong because people got guts.
Which is fine for people, but if you want to look like the way you looked before, then you could just take the same. And you see that you fell off. Can you not just take the steps you did to look like you did before?
I don't have that opportunity no more. I got kids. I don't have time. I got my own business that I'm running now. I'm always traveling.
Don't got time to work out, but you got time to eat, huh?
Well, you kind of have to do that to survive.
Interesting.
I need to live.
So you need to work out to live too, man. Shit,
but that's not body dysmorphia.
No.
I'm just saying that
you just falling off.
It's the same cycle, but it's just a different origination of that cycle.
Here's the I think, Khelil, you're missing the part that body dysmorphia is not just you looking at yourself in the mirror saying you don't like the way you look. It starts to like creep into every aspect of your life and it spills into everything you do. So you look at yourself in the mirror like, damn, I have a gut. I don't like my gut. Wow, I used to be fit. It's different from I have a gut. I can't wear this. I can't go out with these specific group of people because I don't want them to look at me this way.
But what if I do? What if I am thinking
is that all?
Like high school reunions? Like I wouldn't go to a high school reunion because now I fell off. I don't want to see what I look like now. Like that kind of thing.
Is that the only reason why you don't want to go?
That kind of.
Is that the only reason you don't want to go?
Yes, let's say that it is.
That's the only reason you want to go.
It has to be crippling your life. I'm not saying like an event. It's like crippling. Like
I don't want to go out no more at all.
You don't want to do anything. You don't want to go out anymore.
All right.
Like it's spilling into you don't want to wear this. You don't. It's like it's impacting your self-esteem versus like you saying, "Damn."
But I still feel like you can get to that point from falling off. I don't want to stay on this too long.
Absolutely, yes.
But then is that body dysmorphia? Once you get to that point, no matter how you got there,
yeah,
then
it doesn't matter how you got there. But if you get there, then you have it.
That's what I mean by something's actually wrong.
No, here's a question I have to you, man. Were the people in your life at that time like happy that you fell off? And I mean falling off like in terms of like gaining weight and that you have like a gut now? Like people applauding you for that?
No.
No.
I just stopped getting compliments. Like people used to ask me to.
Messy.
People used to ask me to open jars.
No.
I know where you're going with that.
I'm just.
I know where you're going with that. But let me
You're being messy.
Let me flesh it out.
I'm just shifting.
I get your question. Let me flesh it out. People used to ask me, "Can you open this jar? Can you lift this up for me?" And now they don't ask me that no more.
That's okay. Well, I'm just shifting gears a little bit here.
I mean.
So you weren't applauded for, let's call it your weight gain or your gut.
Right. I was not.
But he wasn't.
I started
getting
discouraged
either. He wasn't shamed for it.
I was getting less dates.
That's unfortunate. I'm sorry.
I mean, people are attracted to what they're attracted to, you know. And I think there's some things that objectively, right? Is that fair to say?
Objectively look good.
I'm not gonna say objectively. Statistically, I'll say statistically, right? Statistically,
you mean popularly?
More people would prefer. For example, statistically, I bet that 95% of women would prefer their boyfriends to be above like 5'2".
Or just taller than them.
Yeah. I'll just say 5'2". I'll just say above 5'2". I'll just say above 5'2". Exactly, right?
That's true.
But look at her reaction. Look at her reaction. No.
Maybe she's in the 5%.
Stay with me.
5'2". Wait, hold on.
What's wrong with 5'2"?
That's shorter than me.
It's short, so statistically, right? And height you cannot control.
Right.
Women say it all the time, fam. Oh, if you're
not
above 6 feet,
I'm
don't even talk to
that. I just don't want to be
Khelil,
shorter.
If I was like, yo, I don't want a chick who's above 230, I'm getting crucified.
That's pretty heavy. All right, go ahead.
Say what's on your mind, bro. Say what's on your mind. Right?
I'm just saying the average height of a woman in the U.S. is 5'4". To be 230 at 5'4" is.
She could be 5'7", she could be 5'8".
I feel like that's a really generous weight limit. I'm just saying that's a very generous weight limit.
So about 190. About 190, 200, 200, right? Above 200. My whole point is women get away with this type of stuff a lot.
I was gonna go there. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up.
A lot. Where it's like I can have this preference, and guys do it too for sure. Guys definitely like, oh, I want to grow a fat ass and they're like, you know, looking like a bum themselves.
Women do it more though.
I disagree.
I
feel like women body shame men more.
You know what I think it is? I think the body shaming just has more of an effect on the women. That's what I think it is.
Yes.
You think
That's why
they get
they
get less of it, but it has more of an effect?
I'm not saying they get. It might be like even.
Okay,
It might be even, honestly. But I think
women body shame men more. Give me an example other than height or like 6-pack.
Other than height, hands, dick size. Yeah.
You guys care about a woman's pussy too. What are you talking about?
What do we say about women's?
You.
Oh, you talking about WAP?
Every time I'm with a shorty, bro, I bring out my ruler. I'm like, yo, is this 2 inches? Is this bigger than? If it's wider too, I'm not.
No,
like,
you
that's
guys care
what we
about
do.
tightness too. Like you don't want loosey goosey either.
Yeah, but that's
that's what.
That's never been a concern of mine. To be honest with you. To be honest with you, but I can only speak for myself. But I do see men talking about tightness and stuff like that.
Like if her pussy's not tight, no, of course. Or like the labias, or how the labias look. Like I know guys who say things about how her pussy
that's
look.
That's areolas.
Yeah. We was having a nice conversation about some Cardi B here earlier.
Yeah, her areolas
look
like pancakes.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, the women do it to themselves too, fam.
No,
women do it to themselves, like we spoke about earlier.
Okay, I think for me it was more of like, for the longest time, I thought I had some big ass areolas.
Until
Cardi
posted her picture.
And I was really insecure about my areolas.
And then Cardi B
and I saw Cardi's, I was like,
and she felt better about herself.
Cute as shit.
Trash. Oh,
that's not body shaming. It was just like
no, but you know what I'm thinking about is this, right? Women of all shapes, all sizes are more accepted than men of all shapes and all sizes.
No.
And so I'll use this as my example. You go to Pornhub, you go to Xvideos, any porn website, there's dozens of categories for all different types of women that you want. And there's hundreds, if not thousands of videos and millions of views.
You're using
right?
porn?
I'm using porn. I'm actually using porn. I am literally using porn. You go on any porn website. You can go brunette, you can go blonde, you can go fat, you can go skinny, you can go big titties, flat titties, petite, Amazon, midget, bro. Midget.
But I feel like it's because women have more like
diversity?
No, not diversity, but like more assets that men like harp on. Like society has made it in this way where like women have to be more cautious of their hair color, their weight.
But they actually don't, because regardless if you're
like,
blonde or brunette, there's a very large percent of the population who will be gunning for you.
No.
Yes. If you're obese, if you're overweight, there's a large percentage of men who will be a large amount.
Shallow. Stop it.
No, there's a large number of men who will be gunning for you.
Sit here and make it seem like men don't care how you look.
I'm sure some do. No. I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying that men don't care how you look. I'm saying no matter what you look like, there is a lot of men who will be attracted to you.
Vice versa with men.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
That is not true at all.
That is not true at all.
No,
yes, it is.
Time out.
There's a guy.
Nope.
I'm gonna just stay with me. I'm just reining in a little bit. I think what you're saying is true, but it's not true because of the body type of the guy. I think women are just more. I'm not gonna say I don't think the physical matters as much to them.
Right.
So it's like if like we see this all the time, right? And you see people say shit all the time. If you're funny, like it doesn't matter if you're ugly. If you're funny, like you'll get girls.
Nah, nigga, you ugly.
No, I get that. No, I get that. If you're funny, you got money, you get girls.
Yeah.
Right, and usually it's not the other way around.
Like for a girl, you can't be funny.
Like Amy, like if
not many of them are funny
Amy
though.
Schumer was like the funniest comedian alive, you know, like
ugly.
or like let me not use Amy. I'll say Rosie O'Donnell.
Right.
Like dudes just signed by Rosie O'Donnell's like, oh man, she's so like, oh I want her. So like, oh no, you still kind of, you still.
But I'm sure there's a lot of men who like women who look like Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, but her being funny adds nothing to that.
Men too. You're making it seem like it's one-sided.
I don't think it is. I don't think it goes the other way.
Rosie O'Donnell.
I've never seen it.
Khelil, stop.
I've never seen women say, you know, I go for men who are shorter than me, like in large numbers. I go for men who like, you know, have micro penises in large numbers. I don't hear that stuff. But for every type, every body part, every variety of women, there's a lot of men who say, yo, I like that stuff.
All right, so let's.
I
feel like you're just saying undesirable things though.
Yeah.
That's just to prove my point that no matter what they look like,
and
undesirable to you, but desirable to a lot of people.
that can be said about men too.
In certain things.
All right, you know.
Like sure, like
Okay, maybe I don't want a nigga with a big dick. I want a man with a small dick because I don't want to be rammed through. Or maybe I want a short guy because I want to feel like I'm taller than
you feel like there's a large number of women saying these things. As much as there's men saying I like BBWs.
Who you don't like that?
I know a couple of girls who don't like big dicks.
That was the only example.
A couple of. No, I'm saying like, because I have my example when it comes to porn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that. Okay. Right?
Porn's tricky for a real life situation. What I will say is this though, right?
No, but it's a reflection of what people want.
Yeah, they do. I will say this, though, right? We went from like Victoria's Secret models, right, being like the norm, and that was before social media got as dominant as it was, right? And now we've gone to more fatter asses, big titties, curvy,
hourglass, yeah.
Right? Hourglass, right? I mean, hey, not blaming that at all. And Kim K got a body done, so maybe
it only got popping when she came out with it.
Well, the thing I'm gonna lead this to, right, is, and this was before Helen said I was getting messy, so, or once she said I was getting messy. Has it gone too far to the opposite end, right? I don't know the health benefits or health
implications
from being like a size 0. I do not know that, and there might be none.
There's a lot.
Okay, I'm saying I don't know.
That's
right?
fair.
But I assume there's some.
Yes.
From being so skinny, like the least,
anorexia.
The least percentage of body fat that's healthy is like supposed to be like 6, right? If you're like 6 to 12, that's like ideal athlete wise. Like if you're like a track star or a swimmer, usually between 6 and 12. Most people aren't, and like most people be like around like 15 to like 25%.
Right.
Now we're talking about people that are like 3 or 4%, where you can see like every vein in their body. Yeah, but have we gone too far to the opposite end, where it's now like,
instead of looking like Victoria's Secret models, we want them to look like...
We have this body positivity, like plus size models, fine. I mean, for most people they say plus size is like just normal looking people.
Yes.
But then we get to like your favorite person in the world, Lizzo, right? It's like, is that too far to the opposite end, where she's like a figure for like plus size women?
But it didn't start with her though.
Huh?
She wasn't the first one though. There was Lindsey Graham or Ashley Graham.
Ashley Graham is nowhere near as big as Lizzo. I'm not.
She
I don't want to do this to you, bro.
But she was the go-to for plus size models. She was the first
plus size model, and her being plus size is like maybe like a size or 2 above average. Honestly, I think like plus size is considered 8 to 14.
I don't know the numbers.
It might be 10 to 14.
I couldn't tell you the numbers.
Plus size numbers? It's not like, I know for a fact it's not 4, 6, or 8.
Or 10.
It's not
or
10.
12. I'm pretty sure plus size starts at 14.
And 14 is not. If let's say Ashley Graham is 14, Lizzo would be like a 24.
Stop. You're exaggerating.
No, I'm not.
Alex,
I'm exaggerating.
You're exaggerating.
All right, maybe 22.
I think
22.
you think Lizzo is bigger than she actually is.
Time out.
Like for me, you're like making me think of her as like this TLC like Miles.
No. That's like size 30.
She just sounded.
That's like
size huge,
bro. Like she's big. She ain't big.
She's big.
She's not big. Lizzo's not big. Y'all haven't seen big. She's not as big as what Monique was when she was Miss Parker. What are you guys talking about?
Was Monique being...
the Monique's like the plus changing, Alex.
Well, that's what you're talking about. That's what you're talking about.
He's
Are
like,
we going too far to the other end?
You said she's like a...
If Ashley's a 14, then Lizzo's like a 24.
I think she got like a good 60 or 80 pounds on Ashley, fam.
Stop.
Ashley's
also
we can only
taller.
speculate.
You also have to think about height.
All right, true. But I'm saying,
and also like the way her fat is distributed looks
which
different.
is also some. All right, so
like,
we'll get into
that's another point.
For example, like I have big boobs, so there's a lot of things that I'm like smaller everywhere else, but I can't wear because my boobs are big.
Of course.
Shut up.
No, that makes sense.
No, but that's like I can see someone that weighs the same height, weighs the same as me, and has like smaller titties or whatever. But we're weighing the same. But I look bigger than her because the way my body is portioned.
Body distributions are very different, and we'll get into this in a second. Between like talking about is it between thick and curvy and fat and all. We'll get into that in a second. right? But
We'll
just
get there.
stay with me on this topic real quick, all right? Have people like Lizzo being championed for like being comfortable in the skin you're in, which I think is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But has that gone too far where it's being encouraged to be like, oh, you look like this, you should still, I'm not saying you should feel bad about yourself for looking like this, but it's like, oh, plus size woman, I'm big and I'm proud. I'm like, I feel like we're going too far to the
You feel like
opposite
because
end.
we
like
wouldn't
the
do that for the
person-
anorexics, so why would we do it for the big ones? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. We would not do that for a person that was.
And we didn't do it for
90
Monique when she was
pounds.
Miss Parker.
And the world has changed. I will agree with
But I
that.
also
But is
feel
it
like-
changing too? Like, are we going too
I
far to
think-
the opposite end? That's what I'm saying.
Lizzo's a terrible example for this because, like, if you're following
Why?
her, you see that she's losing weight.
All right, so I'm.
So
well,
it's
I'm,
not like
so
she's
I'm saying. I'm
actively,
saying
like,
like.
But she
But she was
the
when she
fact
was,
that
when
she was still champion.
Yeah, she was
But
champion
that's
when she
not-
was
But
big.
that's
there's
before
nothing-
she lost weight, though.
But that's
Do you
to
understand that?
encourage people who are in her same shoes to
No,
feel
no, no,
like
no, no. Time out,
that's
time out,
like
time out,
why
time out,
should I
time out,
have
time out,
low
time out.
self-esteem because
I'm
I'm
anorexic.
not saying to have low self-esteem. I'm not tying the value. I'm not tying the value of the person to the confidence or how you look.
are.
No, I'm not. I never said she was. I never said Lizzo was a bad person. I
No,
never
I
said
didn't
this.
say. I said.
I never-
I
or
didn't
the-
say you said that
I'm
she was
saying-
a bad
I'm
person,
s-
but I
I'm
feel
s-
like
What I'm saying is, has it gone too far? And this was before, like you said, I don't follow Lizzo as much as other people do. But she was being championed before she was losing weight. When she was at the example I always bring up,
The NBA game?
the Lakers game.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call those, like, you see him, like the freaking assless jeans or whatever. I don't know what you call them, chapless jeans or something like that.
I don't know.
Like, she was wearing pants and her ass was up. Like,
Her ass
she just
cheeks
had,
up.
like, the leg parts of it.
okay.
People are like, oh, it's great. They're like, oh, the skinny girls do that. She should be able to do that, too.
Yes.
One,
Yes.
You're at a public event.
Okay.
NBA game, I don't think it's ever acceptable to be like, I'm gonna walk
So
around
you're
here
saying
with
that
my
has
ass
nothing to
up.
do, but what you're saying
But- and
is
then-
it
and then
has
two-
nothing
but
to do
two-
with her size.
But
Hold on,
no,
hold on.
but the reason why it's being like this is okay is because she's a bigger model.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, oh,
But you
big girls should be able to do things like that too. When skinny girls don't even do things like that in the
Yes,
first
they
place.
do. What are you talking about?
I've never seen at an NBA game.
I hadn't heard of it until
That
Someone-
has nothing to do with her being a.
The reason why it was
The reason
applauded
it was-
is
yes,
because
exactly.
she's being championed as a body positivity.
Because she
Thank
is
you,
body
Right,
positive.
you can be
Thank you.
championed as being for body positive for big girls, but there's still some things you shouldn't be able to do, like we're having your ass out with children walking around you.
It's not even about the children. Public space.
And because
People hide
she's
behind
being
children too much.
championed,
People hide behind children too much. Yeah,
And
public
be-
space. I do not want to see your ass out, fam. It's that simple. It's
and
that simple.
because she's being championed for plus size models, we want to make sure that everything she does is seen in a positive way, so that big girls think that they can do anything that they want. And because of that, something that was wrong is being treated like it was right.
Thank you.
Fair enough.
That's all I'm saying.
The whole and then, like, she would. I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing.
No,
Right?
say it.
So what's on your mind, man?
Yeah, let the world see who you.
It's the opinion
The
factor.
whole. There's also health implications of like it's not being. Like I said, I don't want to tie your value as a person or your self-esteem to how you look, but people say all the time when they look better, they feel better, right?
And when you feel better, you do better.
Okay.
So shouldn't we be encouraging people? I'm not saying like we should be in Lizzo's comments like, yo, lose 100 pounds. I'm not saying this at all. But shouldn't we be encouraging people to look more like...
I feel like
No,
we
I
shouldn't be
think
encouraging them to look like anything.
I think you should
Or
comment
to
on
be-
people's weight. You're not a doctor.
I'm not...
We should be encouraging her to be-
But like what we just said, I'm not being a nosy person. I'm not
Wait,
being a
hold on.
nosy person.
Wait.
But we just said we look better, you
Sorry,
feel better.
sorry.
So
Hold on, real quick.
Go ahead.
You said that we shouldn't comment on people's weight and tell them what they should do based on that. But does that only apply to like bigger people? What if someone was like 75 pounds, grown woman, anorexic as fuck? Would you not tell them you should probably eat something and gain weight?
No, I would not. I don't speak on people's weight at all. No, I don't
But
have the.
would that be more
expertise to
understandable,
speak
though?
that. No.
It's not even expertise.
No,
Like this
no,
person
no.
Are we
is
just-
skin and
We
bones.
just bad people?
I don't think there's anything wrong with
I
that
think
though.
y'all need to learn how to mind your business.
If someone's
I
600
feel
pounds, no.
I feel
There's a
feel
limit to
like-
things.
No, I feel like
There's a limit to
people
things,
feel
bro.
Like they always want to put their 2 cents
No.
into things that don't concern them. It's none of your business.
That's true.
This
No, that's
concern-
what it is.
But
That
there's
is true,
also
this
a limit to
concerns
things.
Us, because everyone is being affected by this.
How are you being affected by Lizzo's size?
Do I live in the same society and culture.
How are you, Alex?
So
how
let
are
me
you
let me
being affected by Lizzo's size?
all right. I'll explain. Very simple. Lizzo, right? Being champ. I'm not blaming Lizzo for this at all. I just want to understand this. Being champion as like, yo, you can look like this, and now other people, especially people in your life. I have a sister. I have a mom. They're like, oh, I can like, oh, this is a thing to do. I can put on this type like that. That would have, for me personally, if the people in my life start ballooning, out of shape, and got unhealthy, and all these other types of things, that would personally affect me. That's from something going on. Not blaming Lizzo, but from the overall culture that is behind that. It's a very
people
simple,
always
it's very
and people always say that
makes her unhealthy.
right. People always say that being fat doesn't mean you're unhealthy,
Yes.
but by and large, obesity is a symptom.
Right, absolutely.
Is one of the symptoms of poor health.
Yes.
It's not always a symptom. You can do all the drugs in the world and still look like
of course,
Kurt Cobain or whatever. But I think it's fair to say that if you have excessive amount of weight, there is health implications for your joints, for your arteries, for your organs, carrying babies. There's factual.
That's the exact same thing for if you're too skinny.
Exactly, which is why I wanted to ask you, wouldn't you say the same thing?
No, I wouldn't say it to a big person or a skinny person.
I'm not saying we have to say it. I'm not saying we have to say it to this.
None of
I'm
my
not.
business.
I just said I don't have to go to Lizzo's. I'm not gonna be. I'm not being Lizzo's home. I tell this chick to drop 100 pounds. I'm just using her as an example because she's one of the most.
And so your point is that you're afraid that now that she's being championed, more people are gonna
start getting like
let themselves go or not be as motivated to improve their bodies or their health.
It's not like just a few people are champions. It's like a lot of people are doing it. So that's my point behind
I
this.
see that, but I also feel like society does a poor job on educating people on body types and how you eat.
It
or
does.
What you look like is not necessarily always a representation.
We live in the most obese country in the world. Our society does a terrible job with this, and our society also makes it easier if you become overweight. Than you can buy 4 cheeseburgers at McDonald's for $4, and you can buy a chicken Caesar salad and it costs you $6.
And then let's be fair, and then they promote like go get your body done to get
right,
that
right,
figure, right? So it's like
easy way out.
Ignore that part too. So a lot of times people are like, I'm big.
I'm big boned.
I've met a lot of girls who don't want to lose weight the honest way. Like they'll go get their bodies done to.
But is that because of Instagram though?
And I also know of some girls who stopped trying to lose weight as much as they were because of Lizzo. Like I know at least 2 of them.
I'm not, and there's no I'm not telling you what your perfect weight is. I do not know. The only thing is, especially because our society does a poor job of educating people on body types, and we're more likely to be influenced by media because of the poor education and what we see, right?
Right.
Her being championed as such is like kind of like a.
I think
like
she's
a dangerous thing.
I don't think it's a dangerous. I feel like her being championed is an active counteraction to the whole fake bodies right now. Not even Victoria's Secret, the fake bodies right now.
I don't see this for the counteraction of fake bodies.
A lot of us girls are feeling really, really insecure about I don't have a fat ass, I don't have a flat stomach, I don't this, I don't that, and you see more of that than Lizzo's on Instagram right
for sure.
Now. So for her, it's more like I'm not saying we'll go and get Lizzo big, but like now I can relax a little bit. Like, I can chill. I don't have to worry about like.
And that's relieving. That's nice.
Relieving.
Yes.
I feel like that's what is being championed, not necessarily like go and eat, don't exercise, be big.
That's being championed as well, but there's a side effect to what's going on. There's more going on than just you and your relief. There are people there's a danger in it. Like he said,
there's health dangers. People in life that could be personally affected, and to even go beyond that is where. Like, I feel like Lizzo's not the counterbalance to fake bodies, right?
I wouldn't say that. Natural bodies.
Yeah, natural bodies would be like
her body. Do you guys hear yourself?
Yeah,
her
but
I'm not.
You hear what you just said? Hold on.
Let me explain.
Listen,
I said natural.
Body?
No, she is.
But
she's not. Her body's naturalness is not appealing to what most men want.
Listen, Helen. Listen, Helen. She is a natural. She is.
Hold on. Natural body.
Hold
hear that.
on. She is a natural body, but she's not being championed for her naturalness. Yes, she's being championed for her bigness.
Her bigness is her naturalness.
No.
Wait, you're making it seem like she's going out of her way to eat to gain.
No. No one's saying I love Lizzo.
This is her
No one's saying I love Lizzo
naturalness
because
is-
she's flaunting
Listen.
how she never got her body done.
Naturalness is a spectrum.
No one's saying-
Naturalness is a
Come on,
It is.
Come on.
a spectrum.
It is,
That's her
but no
naturalness.
one's saying that I love
Come on.
Lizzo because she never got her body done. That's not why they love Lizzo. I love Lizzo because she is confident with her weight, even though she's a big girl.
And she never got her body done. She
No one
never
says
went
that.
To get her body done. Yes, people do say that.
I've never heard that until now, Helen, and I've seen a lot of.
People do say that. A lot of people are like they respect her because she's not going the route of getting surgery done to lose weight. Yes, absolutely. Her
Maybe some
natural
people,
body.
but that is not what's being championed here. She is
She's a
a
very-
plus.
Helen,
She is
Helen,
a
You guys
plus.
are biased.
Helen,
You
no.
have a preference in women, and
Helen,
you're
Helen.
literally
All right, let's
speaking
just.
on that.
I'm not gonna.
You're
Don't stop talking.
speaking
Don't
on
stop talking.
preference.
Just.
You're speaking on preference, and then because Lizzo's not your preference.
I understand.
Okay,
I understand where you're coming
even
from.
the fact that
but
you
listen
said
You don't know if
listen
Lizzo's
to
not
what-
my preference.
natural body, like
Listen to where we're coming from, right? If we're looking on Instagram and the context we're coming from is important, and the reason why I'm saying Lizzo is not a counterbalance to Instagram bodies, like a regular Ashley Graham or like a plus size model or a regular looking person will be the counterbalance to the fake bodies.
Alex,
That's
you just said a regular looking person.
no, I said
Average weight.
yeah. Average weight, I'll say.
That's a
average
thing.
weight.
Average weight's a thing.
I don't think.
Average weight is different from a regular.
All right, that's what I meant.
looking
That's what I
person.
meant.
Like, you have
That's
to be
what I
really
meant.
high.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Okay, I misspoke.
Semantics.
I apologize. Semantics.
I understand
It's
what
not.
you.
It's not semantics.
No.
She can be fine. She knows.
No, because what he said is what you got out of it, but what he meant is what I got out of it.
We're getting distracted.
Semantics.
We're getting distracted. We are getting distracted here.
No, we're not. Y'all just don't want to be called out.
No, I would very much. I would rather be called out about something that I need to be called out about.
Is
I am
Helen?
calling you
Is
guys
Helen gonna
out.
let me get my point across?
Go ahead, Alex. It's your point across.
Okay.
Go.
Let me get my point across.
Natural body
Damn.
is Ashley.
Let's talk about
I'm
it.
saying
We heard your point. Let's talk about it.
And Ashley Graham might not even be like she's probably more curvy than most other girls too. So we don't even need to compare it to that level. What I'm saying is the natural body of an average weight person that does not have freaking hourglass figures, not have the fat ass, that does not have the triple F titties, right? That would be the counterbalance to the Instagram models that are purposely enhancing those things about their body. Not what would Lizzo be.
Lizzo counterbalances the Victoria's Secret
No.
models.
I completely disagree.
I don't understand. I don't understand. how.
Counterbalance to the Instagram bodies is whatever anyone holds as their natural shape. Lizzo is an example of a natural shape. She's not going out of her way to gain
one is
weight
saying she's
to
going-
be a plus size woman or be a big girl. Like
That's
she's
not what we're saying.
actively-
No one's saying
not
that.
getting
I
surgery.
don't know.
She's
I
not
don't
doing
know.
her body. She's a natural body.
Yeah.
For her, that is her.
I don't
her
know
regular.
Lizzo's.
Yes.
I don't know
That is
Lizzo's
her
diet
regular.
habits. I don't know anything about what
Why-
her natural.
Helen.
Like,
Why can't Lizzo and all these other average girls be the counterbalance?
Because
Why?
Lizzo is not the average weight.
Thank you, Chloe.
I said average body, not average.
She's not the
weight.
average body.
She's not the
She's not the average body either.
How do we know
Body,
that
though.
these girls with the bang bodies have average weight either? You guys are just assuming that. No,
No.
average. I'm talking about body shape. I'm not talking about weight. Because I just gave you guys a perfect example of me having big boobs and a girl that could be as tall as me. We might be the average weight, but we look very different.
And we talked about
Average
how
looking
it's
body is different from average weight. Bro, let's not go
Well,
there.
to be fair,
Average
I don't know what an
looking body-
average looking body is. What's the average looking body? Like someone
It's
with no
not-
curves?
Okay, so then why are you guys comparing to Hourglass? You know what a
I'm
fake
not
body looks like. So
yes,
what's
we're
a
saying that
We're comparing-
saying the fake. We're saying the hourglass figure,
which is a figure, not a weight. So you're
Right, so
what
we're
you're
talking about the-
comparing-
let's
you're
let him-
comparing-
he's
you're
talking about-
comparing apples and oranges.
He's
Then
talking
we're
about
gonna
figures.
Talk about figures.
Let him
So
finish.
Look at
the
average
figure
figures
I'm
to
saying.
not
Let him-
average weight.
Let him finish.
I just said why Ashley Graham might not even be a good example.
She is not.
Because
He
she's,
said this.
and I literally just
So
said
what is
this.
the give me an example of
Yo.
an average figure.
That's my question. I don't
There
know what the
isn't. It's on the spectrum. That's what I'm trying to
Okay, so
get you
which
at.
is what I
Lizzo
said.
is an example of an average looking person's body. It varies.
We're not
Her
saying
body
it does not
varies.
vary. We're not saying that. What we're literally saying is Lizzo is very overweight. Lizzo's overweight.
Is
right?
she champion
Say
for
that
being
object-
average?
No, she's not. So
What is she champion for?
What I am saying is Lizzo is the counterbalance to the Victoria's Secret model who's a size 0. I'll say Lizzo's a size 18, right? Or size 20. I do not know her. I don't know what she is.
Right.
So that's
Fair.
the
I
counterbalance.
get it. So
right?
size
We're
0,
going from
size
0
18.
to 20.
Yes.
Right?
And now the counterbalance for fake titties, fake ass
is real titties,
real ass.
I don't understand why.
And yes, Lizzo. Here's the nuance. Here's the nuance. Lizzo has real titties, real ass. But she does. That's not where she's. That's not the space that she's in right now.
That's not true.
That's not the thing that she's being championed for. She's being championed for being. She's being championed.
Being a big girl. She has a natural body, and she's embracing her natural body.
She's embracing her natural body that is big. What about the natural bodies that aren't?
Big is subjective. Big according to who?
According to the average size.
BMI could be alright.
There is an average size.
What is that?
There is an average size in this country. You can't tell me there's not an average size in this country.
Time out.
And she's bigger than it.
Time out.
It's a fact.
What is the average size?
Time out.
I can find out right now. We can look it up.
Time out.
We can look this up.
We have to get this podcast back under control, please. We have to get this podcast back under control. Alright, so time out. Helen, I feel like you are harping on things that you understand, but trying to get your point across. That you understand, like, you know what the average looking person looks like. I feel like you
is the person is the body type you see the most.
I feel like you do. I feel like we can't put it in height and weight, but like, come on. I feel like I understand why you're coming at Khelil for this. I understand it too,
but
why.
There is such a thing as the average size in the U.S.
Most people understand what an average like the average person, the average Joe, the people we see in this room, average people, the people we see when we walk down the street, people we see in the supermarket, like those, and they're generally around the same.
Are you saying that's not true? Are you saying there's no average size?
I hate men.
All right, so I think we can now agree that there is such a thing as the average image or the average looking person, right? You think there's a spectrum to it, but the average still exists, whether that's a singular thing or a spectrum.
Body type wise, no. Because an average height and weight can look very different.
They can.
Yes.
Right.
But we're just going off like,
but
let's say we're in the average realms of height.
Yes.
And the average realm of weight.
Yes.
Yeah.
It could look different, but we agree that it's average.
It's not, okay. Continue. So,
that goes back to my point. All right.
What's your point?
But that goes back to my point, though. If you're abnormal in one place, then you're not average. Like, you can be in the average realm of height, but if you're not in the average realm of weight, then you're not in the average realm. What? That's what I said. That was my thing. That was when I was trying to justify that Lizzo is not average.
Oh.
Because she's not in the average realm of weight for her average realm of height or whatever.
Well, are we basing this off numbers or appearance?
Exactly.
Well, weight and height are numbers.
So that's what I'm asking. Are we doing this off numbers or appearance?
Well, numbers.
We don't know her numbers.
Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah, you can't make that assumption.
All right, can we estimate, no?
What's her height? We should know her height at least.
Google it. Well, let's change.
I don't care enough. Anyways.
All right.
Leave Lizzo alone.
Leave Lizzo alone.
We love you. No, leave Lizzo alone. You brought her up.
Look, man. Last question for y'all. All right. Transition there. Is there a difference between fat and thick?
There is a difference between fat and thick.
Elaborate.
The difference between fat and thick. So a fat person, you can be thick, you can be fat, and weigh the same. All right.
You said a fat person. Isn't fat a bad word now?
No.
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 I feel like
it is. Fat has always been a bad word. Not now. It's always been a bad word.
I feel like it's worse to call somebody fat now, though.
I don't think so.
Not now. I think it's
ever since Lizzo came out embracing her fat and her overweightness and her Lizzo again. Ever since
I told you, right? Y'all was trying to say me. Y'all was trying to say me.
No.
Fatness in her.
But you see, that's that connotation.
Why do you say her fatness?
Because that's specifically the thing about her body that she's publicly embracing.
Sure.
Right?
Continue. We're not doing this again.
There's Ashley Graham. There's Lizzo. All right. Do I hate Ashley Graham too?
It seems like you like her because she doesn't look fat.
Ever since Ashley Graham and Lizzo came out embracing their plus-sizedness, their rotundness, I feel like people have been more.
Size isn't so weird.
I don't even know. People have been more accepting of like
of
the word fat because they see
but
how
no one's calling them fat though. That's what I'm
people
saying.
call them fat.
People call them
people call them fat
I feel like
as a
people
negative connotation,
exactly.
not
So
positive.
that's
Right.
what I'm saying.
You don't go and compliment, girl, you fat. No,
That's
you're
what I'm saying.
that
No,
so
but-
it's like more of a bad word now.
No.
it's not
They
always
still
it's
try.
It's
They
always
still
been a bad word.
they still try to use it as a negative way, but it
Yes.
doesn't affect them
as much,
and so that in turn makes people who look like them feel better
Better,
about the
right.
word. It's like the word bitch. Yo, you my bitch, right? Like, I can't do that because if I was a
I wouldn't
female,
go that far, bro.
If I was a female.
I wouldn't go that far, bro.
I can't. No. Because men don't do that.
Female,
Men don't
right?
do that. But if I was a female, I'd be
Like,
like,
you
that's
know
my bitch, Helen.
yes,
You know what I mean?
I get it.
Back then, there used to be a time where I remember back in. I think it was like.
He said, waiting to call me.
He was waiting for that.
I think it was like in 8th grade when I was on the school bus. Every morning I had a seat specifically. And one morning
We were on the same bus in the morning. I feel like
in 8th grade, I don't know, I was always in the back.
Yes.
And
I
that
feel
was
like
my
we were on the same
seat.
bus.
And for some reason one morning, this girl decided that she was going to sit there. I'm like, yo, what are you doing?
Khelil called her a bitch.
He's like, I don't know, this is my seat. He's like, I don't care, your name's on it. All right, whatever, you a bitch. It's like, oh, I am a bitch. And she was like, proud of it. I'm like, is that not a bad word no more? I was confused. I was like, why are you embracing this?
What does anybody really know in 8th grade?
It's like the N-word.
Right, I was ignorant back then, but I did call her a bitch, and she embraced it. But I feel like and I'm sure that has to do with the fact that at that time the word bitch was starting to be generally accepted with women,
Right.
and she didn't take it as an insult, and
So
therefore
that is-
it didn't affect her as much.
Yeah, I feel like
the same thing might be happening with fat. You can call someone fat now, and be like, yeah, I'm fat. Just the same shit, like, yeah, I'm a bitch.
Like, yeah,
What?
but, like, you know, I get what you're saying.
I don't
Khelil.
see that
I get
happening.
what both of you guys are saying. But
It could just be the beginnings of it.
I don't see quote unquote fat people going up to other fat people like, yo.
No, not.
I don't see that happening.
What
bro.
you like had the intentions of it being an insult backfired and someone taking it as like empowerment.
Right.
Like if you
Like,
are
yeah, I'm
skinny
fat.
and you came and called a big girl a fat girl, she's fat.
Like if she took my sister, like, yeah, all right, whatever, fat. I was like, yeah, I'm
You're
fat.
And what?
Actually, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
I was in college. I was crossing the street with one of my friends. She was fat, and she was taking too long. And the guy rolled down his window. Yo, get the fuck off the street, you fat ass. She's like, yeah, I'm fat. I got a fat ass. So what? I was like, there you go.
Do you go around calling people fat?
I'm saying the guy in the
No,
car.
I want to. Do you like
Do I?
open your mouth and say if you see someone's fat, you like? Do you say?
I don't
you
say. I don't say. I don't call them fat. I'll say, is it because you're fat? But the thing is,
Oh my god. Okay.
is it because of the fat? Is it because you're fat? The thing is, they know me well enough to know that it's not an insult.
So for you, it's a fact.
The thing is, they know that they're fat.
Khelil gotta be stopped. Alright, last question, please, before we go end this podcast. Is there
I'm being dead ass serious.
For you, Khelil,
How's that? If they don't see it as an insult, what's wrong about it?
Khelil
Is
to
there-
shower me with insults. Like,
is
tell
there-
me how you really feel, please.
He already called you.
He called me a bitch already. What happened?
Come on, you know that wasn't like that. You know that wasn't like that.
Allegedly. Last question. Is there a difference between fat and thick? Is there a difference? I
Yeah.
feel like it's been
The distribution of the fat determines if you're thick or
I
not.
feel like the lines have been blurred a little bit recently, man.
I don't feel like no one's gonna call.
And I'll explain why. People who aren't thick, but are quote unquote fat, are now going around calling themselves thick. You know? And I feel like
People who-
Okay, so before we start saying people going around calling themselves thick, what does thick
Look
thick
like?
Look like, yeah. Tell me.
Thick is just fat in the right places.
I agree.
Like what? What?
Titties,
right
ass, thighs. If it's in the gut and the face, then you're fat. If it's in the titties, ass, thighs, then you're
So
thick.
like, what if I got a chubby face and a fat ass? I'm fat.
You thick. Wait, do you have a gut?
I mean, I imagine she has a fat face.
Right.
No, see what?
Because if you have a big gut,
I'm saying
no.
imagine. I'm
I
saying
have a
imagine.
fat
I'm
face,
saying
so
imagine.
What if I have high cheekbones and
I
my
said-
face is
I
just
said I'd
pleasantly
imagine.
plump,
Okay,
but
that's-
I don't
If you have-
If you don't,
If
I
you
just
have
really
big
think
everything,
it's
if you have big everything, then you're just fat.
Right.
So you can have big gut, big titties, big ass, you're fat.
What if she got a fat ass and a gut?
No.
Not like I'm not talking like, but like a
all right,
little,
what,
you know,
like,
little,
like it's like a little pouch or
Like a-
something
oh, you can have a little
bit.
pudge,
Y'all
yeah.
make it seem like I have flat stomach to be called thick.
No, you can have a little pudge. That's still thick without being fat.
I'm gonna need some pictures, man. I'm gonna put some
What about the
pictures. I'm
arms?
gonna
No,
put some
I feel like
pictures.
we always ignore the
Oh,
arms.
that's a good
Y'all be
point.
ignoring the arms.
That's a good
I
point.
be seeing thick girls with some thick arms.
If you got
she
wings,
got
then that's
thick
different.
arms.
Yeah, you moving
chicken arms to be considered thick?
No, you can have regular
I don't.
arms.
I have never seen anyone with like fat, like hanging like arms be considered thick. I've never seen that.
I've never seen it before. I always think of like old grandmothers.
Or
Well,
just
I'm
fat
just
people.
saying when she got a little meat on her arms, then she's thick.
If she's like just like big, then she's thick.
'Cause I feel like
But if it's like hanging down, if you got like
not
flat,
hanging down.
all right,
I
all
mean,
right.
like, chunky arms.
Yeah, that's still
Fat,
thick.
That's still thick.
That's still thick.
So
Yeah.
then what's slim thick?
Slim thick is if you only got
Like
ass.
slim waist.
So like a flat stomach.
Yeah,
Flat stomach.
I think it's more like flat stomach and like ass.
Medium to small titties maybe,
Yeah.
and then maybe not so big thighs, but you got ass. Then you slim thick.
Me and small titties can still be thick though.
That's
I
true.
think it's more. I think it's more about the stomach. I think it's more about the stomach, honestly.
And the thighs though.
And
The thighs play a big part in being thick.
So
no,
like,
but
if your
no.
thighs
She said
don't
what's.
rub
She said
together,
what's.
then-
She said what's.
Yeah.
If you got that gap, then
If you
you're
have a
slim
gap,
thick.
I don't feel like you stick at all.
Wait, what?
You're not even slim thick if you got the gap.
I disagree.
You know, hey.
You can be slim thick.
Can
with
you?
a
I
little
just haven't
gap.
seen it.
There's some people.
You
with
can
fat
have
asses
like slim thick thighs.
Big thighs with the
I'm not
gap.
talking about like thunder
I haven't
thighs.
seen
I'm
big.
talking
I
about
haven't
like
seen
thunder.
big thighs. Maybe like
You can-
you could be like slim.
slim thick.
Is slim
yeah.
thick just like similar to fat ass? Is that what it is? That's what it sounds like.
That's
That's
what it
what it
sounds
sounds
like.
like.
That's what it sounds like. A
Alright.
skinny girl with like a P in her back. That's it.
Right.
P in her
That's
back.
all I think.
No,
of
the
when
letter
you-
P.
I
The
feel
P
like
is the woman with just
I
the big
feel
titties, and that's it.
No, like her
We're not doing this.
P,
We're not doing
the
this.
period
Right?
challenge. You know, talking about the P, her butt. You can put a P.
That's the backwards B.
No, you guys don't know the period challenge. Oh my god.
Period
We're
challenge?
not- we're not- hey, no,
if
no, no,
your
no, no,
butt
not doing this,
can't
not doing
smell-
this,
If your
not doing
butt
this.
can't be a P, like when you're standing and then the butt.
Like if I can put a
the
cup on
chick-
it.
No, Khelil. Oh my god.
I
I see
don't
what she's
know.
trying to say.
I get.
But like,
And
I feel like
Why is it a period?
that's not
challenge?
fair though.
Why is
So
it not
why?
just a P challenge?
How come a slim thick girl can be skinny with an ass, but a girl can't be slim thick if she's skinny with titties?
I feel like titties.
Thick has to be below the
So
waist.
then titties have nothing to do with being thick.
Thick,
or,
no. Thick is below
So
the
They
why
waist.
like-
is
they
you
like
saying
add-
the right
they like-
place?
they like add to it.
You just
Yeah, it
you
definitely
guys
has
are
to.
discriminating
It
against
definitely-
No one's
titties.
discriminating.
Discriminating?
What is-
Yes, you are discriminating.
Then
You
I
just
was
said-
asked for a
so Leo's
definition.
definition of
Thick.
thick was in the right
Titties,
place,
yeah.
titties, and now I'm saying, okay, now slim thick, y'all are saying is skinny with an ass.
Mhm.
So why can't you be slim thick if you're skinny with titties?
It just don't work that way. You can be. If
If
you have titties,
I got you.
That's not fair
The
though. Your
proportion,
definition
no,
was
it is right. The percentage points are not split across even, right? So the ass is weighted more than the titties. So that is why you can switch. The ass is like
titties
40%.
by itself doesn't carry enough to be
Yes,
like.
the ass is like 40%,
the threshold.
The thighs are like 40%, and the titties are like 20%. Right? You can't go.
You can't pass on 20%.
You can't go on 20% being there and missing the other 80%. It don't work that way. All right. My question for the pod to wrap this up is: have we gone too far to the opposite end of the spectrum from Victoria's Secret models to now?
Don't say the name. Don't say the name.
I don't want to use her name, so I'll maybe use maybe old Oprah plus 30 pounds.
Miss Parker Monique,
Miss
right?
Parker, you should use Miss Parker.
Yeah, Miss Parker, right? We'll use Miss Parker. Has it gone too far from where the body image from Victoria's Secret models now the counterbalance is too far where it's encouraging people, the body positivity movement
Is
encouraging people to be
Is there some dangers in what is encouraging?
overweight and
Yeah.
such, right? That's my question. Do you have a question, Helen, for the people?
My question is, why are people so invested in other people's sizes and weight? What is your obsession with how someone looks?
Fair question. Cool.
I will leave it at that. I feel like two questions is fine.
Opinion Factory Podcast. Find us on Apple, Stitcher, YouTube, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast.
Please share it with your thick friends, with your fat friends, with your slim friends, all the friends.
Your bitch calling friends.
I did not. All right.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave us a rating on Apple Podcasts, and we will see y'all
Next week.